Coming up on District Wire News, Republicans continue to press for immigration reform. Senator John McCain urges Congress to implement changes this year.
And visitors flock to Mount Vernon to honor George Washington on President's Day. District Wire News starts right now.
Good afternoon, I'm Bonnie Cove.
And I'm Ryan Oliver.
Senators are calling for immigration reform. They're hopeful a plan will move forward. Daniel DeCourcy has more.
Arizona Republican Senator John McCain is calling his party members to push for reform this year. McCain says stalling reform could cost his party Latino votes.
I think that I stick absolutely, those words that I uttered then were absolutely true. In states like mine over time, the demographics will overtake not only mine, but throughout the whole Southwest and many other parts of the country.
Republicans Against Reform say an increase in new Latino voters could mean more Democratic voters. Some American University students aren't buying it.
Is it a scare tactic? Probably. I mean, it would be, if you're someone who does not want to see it move forward, it would be a smart tactic to use, but I don't think we'll necessarily see a great shift like has been broadcast.
AU students say that the country needs immigration reform sooner rather than later.
I do think it's important just because basically a lot of people that live in the United States are immigrants and they deserve the same rights as the U.S.-born citizens here.
A lot of our largest quotas come from countries where people simply aren't coming from anymore. We see extremely large quotas coming from a lot of the European countries where we don't really see the same immigration levels that we're seeing from other places. Mexico having an extremely low quota doesn't really seem to make sense seeing the immigration that we're looking at.
I'm Danielle DeCourcy for District Wire News.
The Maryland Senate is holding a hearing today on a proposed minimum wage increase. The proposed bill would increase the minimum wage from $7.25 an hour to $10.10 an hour by 2016. Supporters say the proposed bill will provide people with more money to spend. Opponents say the increase will negatively affect Maryland businesses, especially the ones that hire teens still in school.
Two pedestrians were hit by a taxicab in Northwest Washington early Sunday. The incident occurred at the intersection of Connecticut Avenue and Calvert Street. Police say that the victims were struck around 2 a.m. One victim is in critical condition. The others suffered non-life-threatening injuries.
Investigators are looking for a possible serial robber in Loudoun County, Virginia. The robber targets women and demands they take their clothes off. The most recent incident occurred on Valentine's Day when the robber pointed a gun at a woman's head while she was unloading groceries. Police are asking the public to report any similar incidents. Prosecutors are seeking the death penalty against Miranda and Elliot Barbaro. The couple is accused of murdering dozens of men. Miranda Barbaro says she stopped counting at 22 victims. The couple says they committed the crimes because they wanted to kill someone together. Elliot Barbaro told the investigators the couple participates in a satanic cult.
A jury did not acquit Michael Dunn on a first-degree murder. Dunn shot the 17-year-old Jordan Davis after a dispute over loud music in front of a grocery store. The jury deliberated for hours to determine if the murder was premeditated or self-defense. They agreed to convict Dunn of attempted murder, but found no consensus on murder. Dunn told the jury that Davis pointed a shotgun at him first. The trial will continue until an unanimous verdict is reached.
Gun sales are plunging. FBI stats indicate the sales are dropping compared to the year before. The Department of Homeland Security announced that the sales decline is due to budget constraints. The spokesman for the National Shooting Sports Foundation, Lawrence Keene, said that guns are still outperforming monthly sales. 9 people are being treated after a carbon monoxide leak at the Westin Baltimore Washington Airport Hotel Sunday afternoon. Fire officials detected high levels of carbon monoxide after treating an employee who said she felt faint. Guests were not allowed to return to the hotel Sunday night.
A court in Virginia has to decide if gay marriages should be permitted. Monica Thomas has more.
In a ruling followed by a decision Thursday night, a Virginia judge issued a stay order allowing for her rule to be appealed, meaning gay couples still won't be able to get married until the issue is fully resolved. For some couples, this issue hits hard. While many are legally married, their state may not recognize their courtship.
It defines marriage between one man and one woman. The language is actually some of the harshest in the country, I've heard. So it's had ramifications for adoption. It's had ramifications for everything. So this year, my partner and I we're legally married in Virginia, so the federal government recognizes our marriage.
When a judge is deciding whether a law is unconstitutional, it can't let the view of a majority of the people affect a determination on constitutionality.
Officials say it's likely to reach the Supreme Court as well. In an old saying, a husband and wife are one in a marriage, and the one is the husband. Until the mid-19th century, women weren't even considered separate beings. Reporting for District Wire News, I'm Monica Thomas.
George Mason University is joining nearly 150 schools to participate in gender-neutral housing. This would allow male and female students to live on campus in on-campus dorms together. Mary Bowerman has more.
Students at George Mason University will soon have the option of gender-neutral housing. Coined flexible housing by the university, students no longer have to live with just males or females. Groups of 4 and 6 students, regardless of sex, will be able to live in dorms this fall. The university's LGBT service program coordinator, Amina Johnson, says the decision seems like a natural step for the university.
One of the things that we pride ourselves on is diversity, and I'd like to point out that the flexible housing is not only going to benefit LGBTQ students, but it's also going to benefit really everyone.
Students say the decision opens the door for all students to feel comfortable where they live.
Somebody maybe who's in the transition doesn't have to, live with people who, don't identify with them, and it makes that process a lot easier.
It allows more people to kind of express themselves openly, and it kind of creates a welcome environment for people.
The university also committed to gender-neutral bathrooms in all new construction on campus. Reporting for District Wire News, this is Mary Bowerman. 5 local school districts are giving up the President's Day holiday. Kids are sent to school after a string of snow days. Charles and St. Mary's counties in Maryland held school on Monday. Fairfax and Frederick County schools are also open.
A proposed bill in Maryland aims to prevent minors from purchasing energy drinks. Mia Miller has more.
Maryland lawmakers are considering a bill that would ban energy drink sales to minors. Delegate Kathleen Dumias has sponsored the bill to prohibit anyone under 18 from possessing an energy drink. Energy drinks are popular with people of all ages. Red Bull is the #1 energy drink seller for the grocery store Shoppers in Clinton, Maryland.
I can't pinpoint a specific age. People of all ages buy them. I see more like the workforce. They buy like people who work at the post office, and truck drivers and stuff will come in and they usually grab them.
Minors and young adults are major consumers of energy drinks. Minors who violate the ban will be fined up to $100.
Times when people come in here to purchase the energy drinks, it's usually like a lot of teenagers. I would say like between the ages of like 16, possibly maybe over a little bit over 20, which I don't think is good for them because they become addicted to it. It's like a drug.
Some people who drink energy drinks regularly think the bill is too harsh.
I drink them all the time and I don't see any negative side effects. I don't think that it's something that they should put a restriction on for minors, just for the simple fact that it's just another drink.
If the bill becomes law, Maryland would be the first state to restrict the marketing and sale of energy drinks. Reporting for District Wire News, I'm Mia Miller.
The Society for Assisted Reproductive Technology is showing that 2 out of every 100 USA babies are conceived with advanced fertility help. In vitro, a process where eggs and sperm are mixed in a lab dish, has contributed to over 60,000 births in 2012. This is 2,000 more births than 2011 and 1.5% of all births in the nation. Studies also show women are using one embryo at a time to avoid multiple births, raising the risk of prematurity.
A recent study is showing an increase in child bullying. Lola Gang has more with AU students' past high school experiences.
When you go to college, bullying may not seem to be a big issue anymore. Lots of college students are saying they're old and mature enough to always think about their behaviors to others. But most of them have stories of their friends and classmates in high school who were being bullied.
There's one kid in my high school, who got bullied so bad that he actually committed suicide. He just got consistent name calling, saying he was short, he was homosexual, all that. And you know, it was very sad. He had to take his life because he couldn't stand living in the society that he was in, and it was really heartbreaking to lose such a nice kid in our school.
For the people who are being bullied in high school, it is hard for their friends to stay with them because of the pressure.
I think students in high school feed off each other's insults, and it's hard to connect with someone if they're embarrassed to be their friend.
What would be the reason for those students who want to bully others?
I guess it makes them feel better about themselves, temporarily, but in the end, they don't really even realize how much the words that they say can really affect the person, and it's really sad.
Reporting for District Wire News, I'm Lola Young.
Coming up after the break, Facebook adds new options for gender identity. We'll find out what the LGBT community thinks about it.
And a nonprofit in the district teaches teens life skills through food.